John Bentley.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck, Cowboys Up, man. Shouts out to everyone in the chat, man. I see you. It's Saturday night. I want to wish everybody watching this show and this channel right now a happy new year. It is now officially 2021, man. So I hope a lot of things are a lot better for you than it was in 2020, man. We'll continue to push, continue to thrive, and move forward, man. But if you're watching this show for the first time, comment, like, subscribe. Somewhere down there. Also, make sure you turn on that notification bell, y'all, to make sure you know every time we go live on the CFO channel, man. We got a lot of big things in store for 2021. But yo, here we are, guys. Here we are. Week 17, and the Dallas Cowboys are now playing meaningful football. against the New York Giants, man. So I decided to bring in one of my guys, man. We were partners, man. We're colleagues from the Fan to Fan Network. Great guy, man. Big Giants fan, smart guy. So I'd like to welcome to the CFO channel, man, my guy, Kid Blue, man. Kid Blue, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? Happy to be here. Happy to be here. It feels weird being a part of a Cowboys uh, Cowboys channel right now. This is my first time being on a Cowboys channel, so it's definitely surreal. But what's going on,
You're
man?
good, man. You're good, man. You're in Cowboys Nation territory right now, but I'll tell you this, bro. Everyone who watches my channel, man, they're the good Cowboys fans, man. So you don't have to worry, man. So every time because we've had Eagles fans, I actually had a
Right.
Giants fan the other day, man. So it's all family, all love. Like I said, much respect to you, man, because I see you doing your thing. Like I said, me and Kid Blue, man, we're a part of the Fan to Fan Network, and we're probably going to have to go at it again tomorrow morning on Sunday morning, the pregame show. But I had to bring him on. But before we get started, tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, you can find me on my YouTube channel is Kid Blue RB27. Twitter I think is Kid Blue RB27 as well, and then Instagram will be Kid Blue Official.
Kid Blue Official, man. Yeah, definitely check my guy out, man. So the first question us Cowboys fans have to ask you, all right?
hmm hmm
What's your thoughts of Jason Garrett as your offensive coordinator?
I knew that was gonna be the
first
question.
question off the bat, man.
And it's so funny because right when Jason Garrett was fired, I was like, I know he's coming to the Giants. I don't know how. I don't know what he's gonna do, what role he's gonna play, but I know he's coming to the Giants. And I was happy if he was gonna be an offensive coordinator, which is what he was. But I'm extremely happy he was not our head coach. But coming in as our offensive coordinator, I had high hopes for Jason Garrett. He's had pretty much an offense that Giants fans have been envious of for a long amount of years, running the football, a nice offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stretching the ball downfield at times. That's something the Giants really envied for a long time. That's something we've wanted for a long time, but it doesn't seem that way
Right.
right now. It's like a totally different Jason Garrett, a totally different offensive scheme. I know we don't have quite the exact personnel and weapons at use, so he can't really have the same exact production as he did with Dallas, but it just seems totally different. I guess Jason Garrett's head is wanting to be on a pike for a lot of Giants fans. They do not like Jason Garrett.
Already? So
Yes,
that's good to
already.
know. So,
Yeah.
dealing with him for, over a decade, I'll tell you Giants
hmm
fans this, man. Just hold on tight, man. It's going to be very vanilla when it comes to this
Right.
offense. Don't expect any fireworks, man. It's going to be very basic. Saquon Barkley, he's one of the running backs I'm actually worried about, man, because when it comes to utilizing the running game, that wasn't Jason Garrett's forte. It was very vanilla, just dive between the guards and the tackles. But
Right.
Saquon's a guy you have to get in space, and that's really not Jason Garrett's forte. But let me ask you this.
hmm
So you guys brought in Joe Judge. You also brought in Jason Garrett. What was your thoughts initially when you hired him, and how are you feeling right now at Week 17 about your head coach?
I'm loving him. I,
Okay.
I I love Joe Judge, and I'm not one of the guys that are rah. He should be head coach of the year type of deal because we still have to look at the record of things. But
Mm-hmm.
the trend he has this team going is pretty much the only positive thing to take away from this season for the Giants. I mean, he has this team fighting. He has this team competing. We're competing with teams that granted we got blown out the past couple of weeks, but throughout the whole entire season we've been consistently playing well. I mean, with despite injuries, despite the personnel we have. I mean, they all speak highly about Joe Judge, and the way he has them playing. They all look like they want to run through a wall for Joe Judge. So I think he is the future. I think we hold tight to him. It just sucks that if we do get rid of our GM Dave Gettleman, that maybe Joe Judge will be gone too, just in case they want to like do a whole clean sweep. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. I really want Joe Judge to be here in the future. I really think he's gonna be at when it's all said and done. I really think he's gonna be on that like that high tier of coaches of Giants coaches when it's all said and
Okay.
done in Giants history. I really believe that should everything go right. So yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool to hear because what I've been saying on Twitter, and a lot of people are like, I don't know, Tuck. I think that Jason Garrett will eventually be your guys' head coach.
Oh
I feel like
no. Oh man,
I feel
don't
like
say that, man.
I feel like they got Joe Judge, and you guys, your season has been up and down, pretty much like ours. I mean, you
Right,
guys have started
right,
off, when we played you guys in week 5, I don't think you guys even had a win at that point. Then you
right.
ripped off like 3 to 4 wins in a row, and then now we're here battling out in week 17. Who would have thought? But
Hmm.
I feel like if things start to teeter a little bit with Joe Judge, especially when you guys get Saquon back and get a little bit healthier, Jason Garrett might be, because Jason Garrett's a charming guy, man. So if he's able to step up in that interview and interview for that head coaching job, he might win your GM over. So just be cautious of having Jason Garrett as your head coach, because I know a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans will rejoice on that. So, I just mentioned Saquon Barkley. What is your thoughts on Saquon Barkley? I know that he had the injury. He's been nicked up, throughout his career. Do you feel like Saquon's going to be one of those cornerstone players for the New York Giants for the next 5 to 10 years? Or do you think there might be some opportunity where the Giants could possibly move on? Because we've seen what Galliman has been able to do in his absence.
Hmm. Right. It's very back and forth with Saquon Barkley. It's very complicated. Saquon Barkley's cases, just because we know his talent, and I'm not of the people that want to get rid of him. I don't. Nobody really wants to get rid of him because they think he sucks or whatever.
Right.
They just don't feel. They feel like his talent's being wasted here in New York. The neglect of the offensive line, and on top of that, how are we going to pay him? We're coming up. We got to pay a lot of people
Right.
coming up, and sometimes it's not really worth paying a running back a high amount of money, because you could pretty much find them anywhere in any draft. So, when it comes to Saquon, I love Saquon. I really want him to be, that cornerstone player for the New York Giants. I want him to go down as an all-time great New York Giant, and I hope that works out. But man, how it's looking like right now, if the offensive line I mean, it's progressing, but if the offensive line keeps performing the way it's performing, and he's putting up the numbers that he was like in the beginning of the year before he got hurt. I mean, I don't see him being a Giant for much longer. I see somebody else wanting to take a chance and trade for him, and I think the Giants will
Ooh.
probably do it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hmm.
that's a hot take. That's a hot take, because I feel like when it comes to running back, and we know that we have one as well, that a
Hmm.
lot of people have been up and down, especially this season. I'm personally a huge fan of Zeke. I think that he's going to be one of those cornerstone running backs for Dallas Cowboys for the
Hmm.
next 5 to 10 years. A lot of Cowboys fans might disagree. So I have to ask you this question, man, because I asked my guy Vada Fly, who was on the show on a few days ago, this question. Zeke's on the table. Saquon Barkley's on the table. Who are you taking, bro?
Oh my God, it's not even close. I'm taking Saquon. Oh my God, it's not close. Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay, okay. So Vada, a Giants fan, he answered completely different. He was like Ezekiel Elliott,
Oh,
and
I think he's emotional at the time, just because.
so tell me, why are you taking Saquon Barkley over Ezekiel Elliott?
I got to take Saquon. I think Ezekiel Elliott coming out of Ohio State was one of my guys. Like, I loved Ezekiel Elliott coming out of Ohio State. I wanted the Giants to try to draft him. And I still think he's a great running back. So that's no knock on Ezekiel Elliott. I think Saquon Barkley is a generational talent. I think this guy is a mixture of Adrian Peterson and Barry Sanders. And this guy has the potential to being, the greatest running back of all time. He just has to stay healthy, and not put himself in harm's way. I think really, Saquon Barkley's talent outmatches pretty much anybody that I can think of. But there are knocks to him, of course. But with Saquon Barkley, you could pretty much put him on a halfback dive and he could do anything with it. He's not going to
Right.
stick to the game plan, which could be a good and bad thing. We've seen Saquon Barkley do those kind of things before, where he would bounce it outside and get tackled for loss. But he's very hit or miss sometimes. But with Saquon Barkley, you could do so much with him, catching the ball at the backfield like a receiver. You could split him out wide like a receiver, and he could pretty much run anything you guys want to, a counter, power, through the middle, outside, screen passes, whatever you want. And so I just love Saquon's game. I think he's extremely versatile. And going to his knocks on this game, yeah, he has extreme injury issues. He doesn't fumble the ball like Zeke does, so I think that's a plus as well. So
That just happened this year, man. That was so out of the uncharacteristic for Ezekiel Elliott.
yeah,
So
I don't know what the hell his running backs coach was teaching him, but man, that's not Ezekiel Elliott's way. But and Saquon also has this thing of bouncing outside when he shouldn't, which works sometimes, works. It sometimes doesn't work. But I would take Saquon over Ezekiel Elliott, and that's no knock on Ezekiel Elliott. I still love him as a running back, but I gotta go with Barkley.
And of course, I gotta disagree. So, but I'll say this: when it comes between Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon Barkley is the better talent,
Right.
but Ezekiel Elliott is the better football player. And what
Right.
I
I can
mean,
agree.
and so what I mean by that is like, I just saw it pop up in the chat, man. When it comes to run blocking, catching the ball in the backfield, being that hammer and that nail, getting the tough yards, like Ezekiel Elliott, durability. When you think about the whole thing, the whole package when it comes to Ezekiel Elliott, I feel like he provides a lot more than Saquon does. Now, Saquon's more the guy, he'll get you 2 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, -8, and then 83. Like he's one of those guys where it's just like, bam, there it happens. But I feel like with Ezekiel Elliott, especially when you're going to the gauntlet of a playoff series, it's cold in January and in February and whatnot. When you need that tough yard, that tough 2 yards, tough 3 yards, Ezekiel Elliott is that guy. And like I said, what he's also able to bring in pass protection is second to none. So I would have to go with Ezekiel Elliott. But I'm not one of those Cowboys fans gonna be like Saquon sucks. I love Saquon. I love him as a person and also a player. But I feel like if I have to pick, I'm just gonna go with Ezekiel Elliott. Now I'll say the knock on Zeke is Zeke can't just make nothing or something out of nothing. Like he's not that type of player like Saquon is. Like sometimes Saquon is dancing behind the O line and he's going left and going right and cutting back, kind of like a Barry Sanders, like as you mentioned. And then something happens. That's not Zeke. Zeke's going to hit the hole, but when Zeke's ready to make something happen, it can happen. So I'm sticking with Saquon. Cowboys fans, don't kill me, man. Because I know you guys are like, Tuck, you better not pick Saquon over Zeke. I wasn't going to do that, man. So let's hop in the chat, man. Shouts out to everyone in the chat, man. Comment, like, subscribe. Shouts out to my guy, Ralph Castro. What's up, bro? Big D's 83. Ralph Castro says, run the damn ball. Yeah, so that's one of our issues. We're going to talk about that soon, committing to the run game. Dominic, what's up, bro? Oh, he said, let's go Skins. I don't know who the Skins are, man. I know who the Washington football team is, but I don't know who the Skins are. Happy New Year, everybody. Shout out to my guy, Mo, the Lunatic. Let's see here. Yeah, so keep those questions coming, y'all. We're going to get to those questions. So when you think about this NFC East, man, it's been up and down. They call us the NFC least or whatnot. Do you guys feel like you deserve to win this division?
No, I don't feel like anybody deserves to win this division. I think it's just that bad. I don't see like for me to even say somebody deserves to win a division, they have to have at least a winning record. I mean, the best somebody's going to win it at this point is 7-9, and I think it might be 6-10. I
Right.
mean, I don't think anybody really deserves it, but there has to be a winner. So, this year, of course, I think we all want to win the division. I don't care right now. Like I want to, but if I don't win a division, I don't care.
So
You
let me
know,
ask you this. So are you more about winning, possibly going to the playoffs, getting some of your core groups some playoff experience, or would you prefer to have the higher draft pick and more focusing on next year? That's what's the
that,
divide with Cowboys
yeah.
fans.
That's been a divide with Giants fans. I mean, I'm seeing guys just straight up insult each other and hate each other. And I'm like, guys, it's not, come on. This is like a win-win situation here,
Right.
man. I mean, of course, you're going to have the pros with the cons. You got to take the good with the bad in each situation. But at the same time, you make the playoffs. Sure, you're not going to have a top 10 draft pick, but you're going to have playoff experience. You're going to have what it knows, what it feels like to be a winner for at least a week, right?
Right.
And to make it into the playoffs. And these guys are very young. We are one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the NFL, especially from the start with the starters.
Right.
So giving experience to these guys to make them feel, know what it's like to be in the playoffs and know what it's like to win in a season that you've been losing in,
Right.
So that to me is invaluable. So you have to like that point of view, but I could also understand the people that want to win this Cowboys game, but at the same time want to see Washington win, so we don't make the playoffs and we still get the high draft pick and we go off with a bang. We still beat the Cowboys and then we still remain the top with a top 10 draft pick. That I see a lot of Cowboys fans want that. I mean, Giants fans want that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you gotta take the good with the bad in each situation. I really don't care what happens. I really want to make the playoffs. I don't know about everybody else. But as far as I go, and in that Giants divide there, I'm definitely on the playoff side of things. I'll worry about draft picks later.
Right, and that's where I stand. And here's what I'll say, Cowboys fam, because I was wondering, like, why are so people so mesmerized about this draft and these draft picks in this top 10 position? And I realized, I finally found out what it is. It's these mock draft simulators. Because
Oh
I,
yeah.
cause I just ran one for the first time. Because on my show, bro, I'm not doing any draft talk until after the season's officially over. But I was like, let me just give it a go. I had some free time on my hands. And when I was drafting in top 10, there was something there. When I did 19, there was a few points I was just like, all right, man, this,
Right.
this this is what it really is. So this is why people are so mesmerized by tanking and
Hmm.
getting a top 10 pick. So let me ask you this. You guys have Daniel Jones. He's a quarterback that you guys drafted early. Do you think that he will be your quarterback moving forward, or if there's an opportunity to get, Zach Wilson? I mean, Fields probably won't be there, especially after what we just saw.
Hmm.
But do
Yeah.
you guys think that if a quarterback is available, that you guys could move on from Daniel Jones, or do you think he could be the quarterback of the future? You guys just need to build and put pieces around him.
I If Dave Gettleman is our GM, I don't see us going after a quarterback. The way Dave Gettleman is, he's very about himself. He wants to make sure, like, whatever decision he makes, he's going to go through with it. He doesn't go back on what he does. Like, um, so if he drafted Daniel Jones, he's gonna stick with this. Same thing with like the Leonard Williams situation. Everybody hated the Leonard Williams trade once they traded for him because he finished with like a half sack. But then Dave Gettleman said, I don't care if he got a half sack. I'm gonna put him on a franchise tag anyway, and he wound up being right, and now he's our best pass rusher. But he whatever he does, he will go through with it. So if he drafted Daniel Jones, I don't see him drafting another quarterback
Mm-hmm.
that quickly. As far as if Dave Gettleman is fired, I could definitely see another quarterback come in here and probably compete with Daniel Jones and see where that goes. If Zach Wilson drops, I'm not the biggest fan. Zach Wilson looks great. He's definitely a better prospect than Daniel Jones is. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about getting another quarterback in here that comes from a school that doesn't produce quarterbacks,
Right.
and a guy that just popped out of on the scene just like Daniel Jones did. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want to go on another emotional roller coaster like that. If I get a quarterback in a draft, it needs to be like a Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, just so I know this guy is
Right,
the
for
truth.
sure. Right.
I don't want any question marks. So
Right.
yeah, I definitely think Daniel Jones is staying for 2021. If Dave Gettleman's fired, then there's a possibility that he won't. He'll have to compete with another quarterback.
Gotcha. So I personally like Danny Dimes. I'm not too high on him, not too low on him. I feel like he's
Right.
one of the quarterbacks in the NFC East that kind of got lost in the shuffle, but he is, prone to turnovers, which hopefully we can get a few of those. Give me a few of those tomorrow, dude. Give me a few of those fumbles and a pick six. I'll definitely take that. But I feel like for the most part, if you guys can build pieces around him, he is a serviceable quarterback.
Hmm.
I don't think he's the answer, but you guys have won us 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning. So I mean, do you really need a
What you trying to
franchise
say, man?
that the Giants have won with a lot less? So when you think about, let me quick question. Let me ask you that Eli Manning. When it comes to Eli Manning, what do you think about Eli? Like,
I love Eli. Eli's my listen, man. Everybody always makes fun of Eli because the way he looks, but at the same time, when they get beat by Eli, just remember the guy that beat you is the guy that look at his face. That's the guy
right,
that beat you. All right, so he always found a way, man. That's what I loved about Eli. He was tough. He was hard as nails, man. The guy always stood in the fight, and he never had a losing spirit in him, man. He
right,
never had a quitting spirit in him at all. He would stay in it till the end. He would always be hobbled, bleeding, and he'll still go out and make a play. That's what I really want in the next Giants quarterback. But and hopefully Daniel Jones is that guy. We haven't seen it yet. But I love Eli, man. I love Eli. That 2004 draft, I wouldn't want nobody else, man. Nobody else. Eli.
yeah. Kudos to Eli, man. My guy Eli. Like you said, Eli looked like he really didn't want to be out there. Like his dad was kind of forcing him to be out there some games. But
Right.
when it was time to win, Eli would win. And like I said, and the one thing about Eli Manning, he was a very durable quarterback. So you could
Mhm.
always rely on Eli being there for the Giants. So like I said, he's won 2 Super Bowls, so you really can't knock the man. So you mentioned a few things. You mentioned the draft from last year, right? You guys drafted McKinney. So you guys really you brought in Logan Ryan, which is a guy that we wanted in Dallas. So let me
Right.
ask you this, and shouts out to my guy Bluff City. Right now it's the off season. You're the GM of the Giants. I'm the GM of the Cowboys, which that pretty much make me Jerry Jones. But I say I'll give you a 4th-round pick for Jabril Peppers. Would you send him to Dallas?
A 4th round pick. You know what? I'd probably do it. I
Okay.
pro Just because Jabril Peppers is on his contract year next year, so we have to pay. I mean, we only got 1 year with him pretty much anyway. Otherwise, we had to pay him. So I'll take the 4th round pick because if we were planning to let him go anyway, then might as well get some compensation for him. So 4th round pick, probably not a bad deal. I probably push for a third, but we could
Okay.
probably settle at a fourth. But
Yeah.
I'll probably push for a third. I got to get
Yeah, you got to push a little
negotiations.
bit. So there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So that's an opportunity, Cowboys fan, for that safety. I think if we were able to match Jabril Peppers with Donovan Wilson, that might be a good pickup at safety. And shouts out to my guy, the Lunatic. He already asked my next question. So you guys have a defensive tackle in Tomlinson that's going to be a free agent. You're the GM, bro. Are you re-signing him? Are you letting him go? And
Woo! This has been a tough topic because it's not only Dalvin Thompson's the issue, it's Leonard Williams. So
right,
it's like we don't have cap space to re-sign both of them because we have other guys to re-sign and we have to bring in. So we have to bring in a wide receiver somehow. We have to draft or bring one in, or whatever the case may be. Wide receiver needs to be a priority. So that might take up a lot of cap space as well. So um, when it comes to Dalvin Thompson or Leonard Williams, man, that has been the question that Giants fans just are begging to know what the Giants are going to do, man, because we want to keep both somehow, and if it works somehow, then awesome. But man, I don't know. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'll do a live stream and say, man, I think I will want Leonard Williams more, and then I'll go on another live stream and say, I think I want Dalvin Tomlinson more. I don't know, man. There are pros and cons to it. When it comes to Dalvin Thompson, he is replaceable. Like we have great defensive tackle depth. Like we have guys that can be starters that are on the bench right now, like BJ Hill or RJ McIntosh. Like these guys can play. Or like Austin Johnson.
mm,
So when it comes to Dalvin, he is replaceable, but at the same time, he brings that run stuff. Nobody. He's the best run stuffer on the team, and matching him with Dexter Lawrence is unmatchable, man. They're really good on the inside, but when it comes to Leonard Williams, he's basically our only pass rusher because everybody that we had got hurt. So
right.
it's like we let go of Leonard Williams, we don't have a pass rusher, and we let go of Dalvin Tomlinson, we lose out on our top run stuffer. So it's hard, man. It's hard. I don't know who I want to resign.
As a Cowboys fan, man, I'll tell you, run stuff, or you can just get those anywhere. Just let
Right.
Tomlinson walk, man. Just let him become a free agent, man. You don't need to resign him. Just let him walk, man. You get another one off the street. Yeah, yeah. Tomlinson, man, come on over to Dallas, man. 'Cause that's the one. There's two of them in the city of New York, man. It's either Tomlinson or Quentin Williams, man. I'm trying to get either or, man. But I
Right.
think for Williams, we actually have to place a few trades. But Tomlinson's a free agent, man.
Hmm.
Go ahead and submit that check, Jerry Jones. So yeah, so yeah, man. So let's get into this game on Sunday, right? So the Cowboys Giants we play at noon. Now the winner doesn't get in per se. We get our foot halfway through the door. Okay, but what is your thoughts on this Sunday's matchup, and how are you feeling about the game?
I love the implications to this game. I love that there's meaningful football for both teams. Like I want both teams to be, a part of this. I don't want just the Giants fans to be like, "Oh, this is our playoff run." This is
Right.
both of our playoffs run. And like you said, whoever wins this game will only have a half step into it because we're really waiting to see what happens with that Washington game. But as far as that goes, man, I'm excited.
Mhm.
I'm really excited. I love the Giants Cowboys rivalry more than any other rivalry. I know a lot of Giants fans hate the Eagles more. I hate the Cowboys more. It just is what it is.
I
So
understand why they would hate the Eagles more. Trust me.
yeah, but I mean, I love the rivalry. I love the implications of this game. So I'm extremely excited, man. Extremely excited for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. Like I said, people bagged on the NFC East for so long all this season, and now it's week 17. And who was the NFL depending on for the biggest rating matchups? The NFC East, man. Because you think about it, we have not only is it Cowboys versus Giants, there's the possibility that Jerry Jones has to sit back and see Jason Garrett triumphantly end our season. So you got to add that
I didn't
factor
think
on it
about
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because here I was watching film on the last Cowboys Giants game, and Jason Garrett called one of the best games I've ever seen him coach. That Giants in Week 5 matchup, man. He was calling
Mm,
trick plays. He had
yep.
misdirections,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. So if you don't think, Cowboys fans, that Jason Garrett's going to come out with another chip on his shoulder and really try to end our season, you have another thing happen. So you have that all in, mixed in. And then if whoever wins, we have to sit back Sunday Night Football and watch the Philadelphia Eagles with the practice squad. I think they just named me at the linebacker position because they put everybody on injury reserve. I think they have like 9 players on injury reserve.
Dang.
Deshaun Jackson came out, scored an 83-yard touchdown versus the Cowboys, did a flip in the end zone and hurt himself, and he's done. So they got 9 players on the injury reserve right now against the Washington football team, and it sounds like Alex Smith will be back. So I know Jim Schwartz came out, and I have a lot of Eagles fans, bro, that watch my show, but Jim Schwartz came out and said, no hat rule, no division rivals going to come and celebrate on our field. But I feel like for Eagles fans and for the Eagles organization, for them to end possibly the Cowboys season would be much more celebrational than them beating Washington and letting them avoid making the playoffs. So we shall see. But I like all the hoopla going into Week 17 because, like you said,
Yeah.
it was up and down all season. A lot of people counted us out. And, here we are.
Yeah.
Week 17, Cowboys playing for playoffs, Giants playing for playoffs, Washington playing for playoffs, and the Eagles just playing. What's better,
right?
what's better than that?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it, man. Shouts out to my guy Joe, man, watching from Italy, man. That's the thing about Cowboys fans. We're worldwide. Shouts out to Joe. He says he got Dallas 35, Midgets 10. Maybe I'm not gonna pump the brakes on that. DeLunatic has a question. Which team would the weather affect the most in a negative way? So I haven't seen the weather reports. Maybe it's supposed to be raining or snowing up there in New York. But who do you think that it will impact more? I feel like, honestly, it might impact us more because we like to throw the ball a lot more. Now,
Right.
we have seen what Tony Pollard was able to do against San Francisco. We saw Ezekiel Elliott flash versus the Eagles last Sunday. So maybe Mike McCarthy can commit back to the run game a little bit more. But if we're trying to air the ball out with Andy Dalton and really take advantage of your secondary, because personally, I think that's the opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys is against our wide receiver core versus your secondary. I feel like you mentioned, the run stoppers that you guys have, and also your linebackers with Blake Martinez or whatnot. That's the core of your defense. And so we're trying to play a smash mouth run game that might lead more to the Giants defense's advantage versus if we're able to air things out. But what are your thoughts? Any weather conditions that might concern you guys? Because you're more familiar with weather in New York. We play in it's really a dome, but because we can manage it. But we're more of an inside team versus your outside team. Do you think it's going to have an impact on Sunday's game?
Right. Right off the bat, I feel like the Giants have the advantage, but I don't think it's a big advantage. Just because this is the weather they're kind of playing in and practicing in even all the time. They practice outside, so
Right.
I think they're kind of used to it. And like you said, the Cowboys pretty much play in a dome, so they're pretty much inside most of the time. But at the same time, I don't know if that really affects too much, just because I feel like the Cowboys are experienced enough to have gone through these type of weather games before. You got some veterans on that team as well, so I feel like veteran experience is going to help them out a little bit. But and as far as the Giants go, I'm not really confident in the Giants airing it out if it's going to be windy and possibly raining. And I'm not confident Daniel Jones airing it, especially with the wide receivers that we have. They can't create any type of separation. So that's going to be a difficult task for the Giants to do. So they're going to have to probably focus on running the football.
Right. And a wet, windy game. Daniel Jones and the Cowboys for the past few weeks have been getting a lot of turnovers. Come on, Cowboys Nation. You see where I'm going? Come on, Danny Dimes. Give me a few of those, man.
Hey, to be fair, he hasn't thrown an interception in weeks. So,
okay.
Yeah,
But sometimes in those windy games, man, you're letting it fly and it sails a little bit, and there happens just to be Trayvon Diggs or Donovan Wilson just right there. So we'll see. I mean, the hardest part, y'all, like I said, when it comes to this Cowboys team, yes, we have flashed the past 3 weeks, but if we ever revert back to what we've seen prior to that, it can definitely be scary because if you go back and watch and think about week 5, we still had Dak Prescott. We were down 17-3 to the New York Giants. Things were really getting out of hand. A few calls, went our way, and luckily Andy Dalton was able to make that strike to Michael Gallup at the end of the game, man. But it wasn't a close game. I mean, the Giants were scoring at will. Like I said, we saw fake field goals. We saw, flea flicker throws through from Jason Garrett, all sorts of stuff, man. So, hopefully, our defense is a lot better than what you guys seen week 5. But, I mean, you never know because even with Shepard and Ingram causes our linebackers hell, to be honest with you. So he's one of those guys, and Daniel Jones is able to sit back there and get comfortable. Then you never know. So hopefully the Dallas Cowboys, can reel themselves in defensively, build off what we've seen the past few weeks, and get this victory. So let me ask you this. What is the thing that you are optimistic that you guys can take advantage of on Sunday, and what has you worried and most concerned?
Probably the biggest thing for me is the Cowboys obviously have a really big weakness at stopping the run, and the
Right.
Giants have been really trying to do that this year is running the football. So I guess that would help them get a little bit more of a boost of confidence,
Right.
and running the football. Because one thing with Jason Garrett, I don't know if that's been a thing when he was with you guys, but when he stopped, when the run game is completely shut down in the first quarter, he'll just stop running the football. Just will stop doing it. He has
Right.
like no confidence in the run game whatsoever. Doesn't let Wayne Gallman ease into it. So I would think a big factor would be running the football for the Giants. I think that's something that they could take advantage of and really thrive on in this game, and keep the ball away from Daniel Jones as much as possible and not having to throw it 45, 50 times,
Right.
and I think that'll be a method of success.
Yeah. And what has you concerned the most?
Concern the most, man. I would probably say the Cowboys wide receivers.
Right.
I've said this. I've said this since the beginning of the season. I said, when you have an offense like the Cowboys have, it doesn't matter really who's at quarterback as long as it's like Ben DiNucci. But if it's
Whoa,
Dak.
whoa! Let me pump the brakes.
Oh, you like Ben DiNucci?
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
I'm not defending Nucci, man. Heck no.
Okay.
But I'll say this: it does matter who's at quarterback. This is a drastic drop off. Andy Dalton has been playing great the past few games, but he's not Dak Prescott. And see that?
Oh yeah, I can see
that
that
sentiment that you just shared. That's what a lot of Cowboys fans have. Like, oh, we have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup. You could put anybody back there. We don't need to re-sign Dak Prescott. Just get so and so and plug them in. They'll be just fine. No, no. Because people forget. There was a few weeks when Andy Dalton wasn't even scoring double digits for a while. And this team was up and down. We tried Garrett Gilbert and Ben DiNucci and whatnot. But there is a difference when it comes to quarterback. So go back to that, man.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I agree when it comes to that. It's not the same exact production, but it definitely helps out when you have pretty much 3 number 1 wide receivers on the damn roster.
Right, yeah, that does help a lot. That does help.
So man, I mean, it's gonna be a tough task, man. CeeDee Lamb really lit us up last time. Coming in from that slot, Darnay Holmes, the rookie, had some wins, but had a lot of losses in that first matchup. So hopefully he comes back, better. James Bradbury completely shut down Amari Cooper. I don't expect the same thing to happen again, just because James Bradbury has been slowing down lately. So that's the thing that really worries me is the Cowboys wide receivers, man, is their ability to get open. The Giants lately have been playing a lot of zone coverage, and they've been just getting beat constantly. They started off playing a lot of man coverage. In that week 5 game, they were playing a lot of man, and I don't know what happened, but they started switching to zone, and they suck at zone.
Yeah.
So that concerns me.
Yeah, and I would say for my concerns and things that I'm optimistic about, it's pretty much the inverse of what you just said, man. The run game. The Dallas Cowboys, doesn't matter who the name is back there, has struggled stopping the run. That's why we need Tomlinson as a free agent. But we've struggled stopping the run all year. It doesn't matter who's back there. And Gallman, he was one of my fantasy football pickups. Shouts out to my guy Joe from Fan Network. I pulled him out the recycle bin, and he's been serviceable, but he's a decent running back. And if he's able to get started against this run defense, it opens a lot for Daniel Jones because he's able to now use the read, get outside the pocket a little bit more, use his legs, and find Ingram and also Shepard and those guys in the short game, and also hit you over top. So we have to be able to stop the run, continue to force turnovers. And like I said, but I think when it comes to our wide receiver core versus your secondary, I think it's also establishing the run game. I think what we've seen the past 2 weeks with the run game, if we commit to, because Mike McCarthy's doing the same thing you just mentioned with Jason Garrett. We'll go to Zeke a few times in the first quarter. He'll get eaten and getting warmed up, and then it just vanishes. And then it comes back in the fourth quarter. You're like, well, why didn't you just stick to the run game? It was working. And so I really want to see a game where Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, even though he might be gone soon, commits to the run game, because I feel like if we're able to get the run game really moving against this defense, it will keep you guys off balance, and then that's when we're able to utilize our wide receivers. So let's hop in the chat, man. The Lunatic said, who has a better kicker? Because it won't surprise me if this game is closer than Dallas wants. So you guys got Graham Gano. We have Greg Zuerlein. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the stats on Greg Zuerlein season so far, but Graham Gano has not missed a field goal. He's like 30 out of 30 right now. So I mean, he's looking really good. So I mean,
I mean, granted, Greg Zuerlein's a Cowboy, but I'll say, Gano's a Florida State guy. He's a Seminole, so I go with Gano. So yeah, shouts out to my Knowles, man, because you're in Florida, man. Are you a Miami fan, Florida State?
No, call me. It's a crazy team I support, but it's Boise State. So I know you have a lot of Boise State guys, including my guy Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
And my former New York Giant and former Boise State Bronco Darian Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you got a lot of guys out there. DeMarcus Lawrence as well, and so that's kind of why I hate you guys.
Scandrick and a lot of Boise guys, Van Der Esch. So man. So you're about to get our offensive coordinator at Boise, possibly. So let me ask you that: how do you feel if Kellen Moore is the head coach of the Boise State Broncos?
That would be so. How old is Kellen Moore? He still looks like he's 12.
I think Kellen Moore, maybe he's gotta be like 30, something like maybe 30, 31. I would say tops.
Man, that's so young, man. That's so young to be a head coach. I mean, because he's just that smart. I mean, the guy went from a backup quarterback to offensive coordinator just like that.
Right. Right.
I mean, so I'm all for it, man. Especially that that's his home. So maybe he'll be a lot better over there. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let's see. Brian said an article reported that Kellen Moore probably will not be the Boise coach. Came out today. If it's up to me, I am going to throw a parade if Kellen Moore does not take the Boise job, man, because I want him to remain the offensive coordinator in Dallas. I feel like our offense isn't the issue. We just really need to fix our defense, and you guys have a couple of guys we can bring in to actually do that. He's 33, so I want Kellen Moore to remain with the Dallas Cowboys as OC. Cowboys chat, do not shoot the messenger, but that's just me, man. Because I'm of the old mantra: if it's not broke, don't fix it. And our offense hasn't been the issues for the past 2 years since Kellen Moore has been at the reins. Yeah. You don't let him just walk off the Boise or whatnot. So hopefully Kellen Moore does not take that job, because if so, then we have to find a new guy. It's going to be Mike McCarthy or bring someone in-house. I'm not for that. I'm just ready just to build off what we have this season and get ready for next year. Let's see. My guy Frank says, Cowboys make the playoffs and we get a later pick with that. Kyle Pitts is still on the board. Would you take him? If you're asking me, yeah, absolutely. We have a late pick and Kyle Pitts is there available. I'm definitely taking Kyle Pitts. So let me ask you this. Your draft guy, number one guy you can get out of this draft, who's the focus for the New York Giants?
Oh, Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Okay. Thinking about that one. I'm getting Devontae Smith.
No Jamar Chase, because you guys need a wide receiver.
Oh yeah, Jamar Chase is up there for me. I don't think the Giants get to him.
Right.
So I'm taking Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. Now, if you guys win on Sunday and make the playoffs, he's probably going to be out the picture.
We're screwed. We're screwed when it comes to draft pick, man. We'll be slim pickings from there, man. Yeah.
But if I tell people, at least you'll have a brand new division champs hat and shirt you can flaunt, all off season made with a division. It's not about the draft. So before I let you go, bro, I'm going to put you on the spot. Your prediction for tomorrow's game. Like I said, Me,
All
me and my
right.
guy Kid Blue, man, we're on the Fan to Fan Network. We do the pregame morning show every Sunday morning, so definitely check us out. So we're probably to do this all over again tomorrow. But what's your prediction for tomorrow's game?
Tomorrow, I think both teams have progressed this season. So I don't think it's going to be another 37-34 game that we saw. I think it's going to be a lot the same point differential. I think it's going to be close, but I think the points won't be as much. I think your defense has gotten a lot better. I feel like our offense slowed down a little bit. So I feel like this is going to be a 23-20 game. I'm going to say the Giants win. You're probably going to say the Cowboys are going to win. But I'm going to say 23-20 Giants. And I mean, that's half step in to see if we can make a playoff run. But that may be wishful thinking, but I got the Giants pulling out this game, man. And we get a revenge game. Hopefully, Jason Garrett gets his revenge and shows us something, man. If he wants to keep his job with the New York Giants, because dear God, he's not making a great case.
And that will be the not only Dallas Cowboys fans, but like I said, Jerry Jones' worst nightmare coming true. If you
Yes.
guys are out there high-fiving and shaking Jason Garrett and he's cheesing and all that stuff as our season is over, Jerry Jones doesn't want to see that. Cowboys fans don't want to see that. I forgot what I said. I said something on. Oh, I said credit to Jason Garrett when you guys were winning like 4 games in a row. I say credit to Jason Garrett for helping turn this Giants team around and get their season back on track. So many Cowboys fans are like, Jason Garrett's not the head coach. It's Joe Judge. He has nothing to do with it. I'm like, well, he's the offensive coordinator. And I mean, he's in the building. And Joe Judge is the first-time head coach. I'm sure that Jason Garrett is, helping with the game planning and getting everything situated.
Yeah.
No, Jason Garrett's doing nothing. I'm like, all right. So Jason Garrett is not involved. Jason Garrett just calls a
Oh
few plays, and
man.
that's about it. He's not involved with the Giants' success. So my prediction, I say the Dallas Cowboys win the game 27-21 in a close game and doesn't get separated until the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And I will say this. The Philadelphia Eagles will win the game Sunday night, and the Dallas Cowboys will get into the playoffs.
All
That's my hot
right.
take. It'll be a close game. It's gonna be like a field goal or something weird. But I
Yeah.
feel like y'all, even with the Philadelphia Eagles resting 9 players, there's still enough talent there. I mean, they've played with injuries throughout this entire season, just like us, so it's there. And I feel like Jalen Hurts, after how he performed last Sunday, he's going to want to perform much better this Sunday. Now, you always got to be aware of the Washington defensive front because those guys are beast monsters. But I feel like Jalen Hurts can handle himself accordingly. I mean, Fletcher Cox being out and all sorts of stuff. That's my high hopes, man. That's all I got. But like I said, for me, y'all, it's never been about the playoffs. It's just been about continue to win, get these young guys some reps, get that momentum, and have something positive going into the offseason. Because once we get Dak Prescott back, then it's going to be a completely different show next year. We all know that. We all know that. So that's what I'm just waiting on for next year to get Dak Prescott back, but have some momentum going into the offseason. If it's playoffs, perfectly fine. But if we beat the Giants and still don't get in, that's perfectly fine. We should have took care of business when we had the opportunity because people don't forget. The Giants should have beat Philly. I mean, Ingram had that drop. So, I mean, there's a possibility the Giants were going to take this division regardless. We shouldn't even be here talking about things are up in the air right now. But a lot of different things have been happening this season. So you never know which way the ball is going to bounce. So, my guy, Kid Blueman, I appreciate you. Like I said, definitely check him out. Once again, for the people just tuning in, tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Oh yeah, so my name is Kid Blue, KB. What you call me doesn't matter. You can find me on YouTube, Kid Blue RB27. Same thing on Twitter, Kid Blue RB27, and on Instagram, Kid Blue Official. So thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. So I tell you, wasn't that bad, man? The Cowboys fans on my show, we're cool, bro. We don't do all that, man. We don't do all that. Like I said, if Eagles fans can come on my show and be cool, man, we're cool with Giants fans, man. Like I said, but yeah, for everyone tuning in, might be seeing my show for the first time. I'm Jay Tuck. Cowboys fans only on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. I appreciate all the content, all the feedback, the retweets, the interaction with all football fans. Also, go to cowboysfansonly.com to get your CFO merch, man. And then, like I said, find me and Kid Blue tomorrow morning on the Fan to Fan Network. It's not just me and Kid Blue. There's so many different people around the league. There's Washington fans. We even got an Eagles guy. Shouts out to my guy Philly Notion. He got lucky last week. All different around the league, man. This is great content. Definitely check us out. But like I said, I want to wish everybody a great happy new year, man. I hope everyone has a great, amazing 2021. And hopefully, the Dallas Cowboys can get back on the track of winning and we can get to the playoffs. I'll tell you this, bro. Everybody was giving up on the season. They were team tank. We don't need to win. I was the only one staying consistent, continuing to ride this thing going out because of the talent that you mentioned. And here we are, week 17. So the Dallas Cowboys can win and get into the playoffs, man. I'm all for it.
Man.
Let's get things rolling and get this quest for 6, man. I appreciate you coming on the channel, bro. I appreciate everyone for tuning on. Catch me, guys. I'm about to hop on another show, right, with my guy Sid, man, and Cowboys Fan Talk. So we're going back to back to back to back. You guys know how we do on Saturday, so definitely follow me over there, man. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all. We'll see y'all Sunday, and go Cowboys. Peace out.